Here we have the December freshwater trout and redfin box. Got plenty up for offer this month, but let's start with, I have no idea, there's a lot here. Let's start off with these from Chase Baits. This is the Chase Baits little wiggle bombs. These are essentially all look like a little tadpole, which is quite unique. They've got little legs on the back, big curl tail. They are a weedless option as well, with the 2-hook weedless setup on the back. So you can skip or cast these up under heavy structure, fish them through heavy structure, fish them through weed. They're gonna be fantastic. I'm gonna be looking at the little redfin for these ones here. Probably not so much for trout, but redfin definitely, because redfin is super territorial and will kill anything that is nearby them. So work these anywhere you've got heavy structure, because that's what they're made for. Tiny little profile, weedless hooks, you can fish them anywhere. Now they are a sinking lure, so you can let them sink deep down into any structure that you're fishing and then do a slow roll back out. And that little curl tail on the back is just gonna be working its magic as you work it back. Now this is one that I'm eyeing off definitely for the big trout at the moment. This is the CZ Crazy Minnow 70SF. So this is a shallow floating hard body. Long minnow style hard body here. So you're gonna get a bit twitchy with it, or you can do the slow roll. I'm gonna probably work this one fairly fast in some of your running streams for your trout. Cast it out, that shallow dive is gonna allow you just to constantly roll that back to you. If you see the trout chasing it, speed up your wind a little bit more. Try and entice them to chase it down, hunt it down, and just whack it. Now, if you are chasing redfin with these, probably look at some of the edge bite, where you've got some weed or you've got some structure. Cast it up onto the edge, twitch, 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 pause, twitch, twitch, pause. Something like that. Give it plenty of time to pause, but keep it that erratic movement happening at the same time. Kind of trying to mimic like a little wounded bait fish is going to be the go for this one. They've got 3 different soft plastic options for you as well, and some unique little jig heads for you too. We'll get to them later. Let's start off with the soft plastics. I'm going to start off with these ones from Lunker City. These are the little silver phantom. So these are essentially mimicking a little nymph, like a little baby dragonfly, little larvae kind of thing, so a little bug. How many other ways can I describe it? But anyway, these are a tiny little mouthful for both the trout fin, for both the trout and the redfin. Now this is where the little jig heads will fall in place. These are the fish arrow fall head. So you'll notice these jig heads do have a little brush on the front. So these are gonna sit up just above the hook and stop a lot of weed and snags from actually falling over your hook. And then when they bite on, that brush compresses, they get hooked onto the hook, and then the brush will spring back up, making it hard for them to actually throw the hook again. Light little presentation as well. These are 1/16 of an ounce, so make sure you are fishing a very light braid, like a 2 to 6 pound braid. Gonna be absolutely perfect for these on the Lunker City Silver Phantom Helgi little plastics. These will also fit with some of the other plastics as well, which we'll get to in a sec, but that's gonna be a dynamite little combination just for casting out, letting it sink down the bottom, work it slow, work it shallow as well. But yeah, slow is the key here. Work it slow, just along the bottom. It's just gonna look like a tiny little bug. It can even mimic a little bait fish, but with the little antennae and legs off of this thing, you're trying to mimic a little bug or a little baby dragonfly with these. Next up is the Fish Arrow Flash J Curly Tail. These are like a grub style soft plastic with an awesome little foil finish in the center. These fall heads, Fish Arrow as well, made for these, absolutely perfect. But because of that curl tail, it's going to introduce a little bit more action into it. That curl tail is always going to be kicking and moving around. And then with the jig head, it's going to make it a little bit more snag resistant and a little bit more weedless. You can fish these a little bit quicker, or even on the slow roll if you want to as well. Moving over to a bigger or thicker style grub style plastic. These are the Demiki D grubs in a 3-inch. So these are like your classic style grub lures. You can either fish these with the supplied jig heads that we've given you, or any of your favorite jig heads as well. If you don't want to fish with the weedless jig heads and you're fishing in more open water, feel free to chuck on like a 1/4 ounce, 1/6, 1/8, 1/12, whatever suits the water you're fishing. Cast out, let it sink down, slow roll back. That same curled tail is going to give the same sort of action, constant action, even on the pause, any moving water, that tail is going to pick it up and kick with it. But the bigger body profile can sometimes mean getting a bite or not getting a bite, especially if the fish have been shut down for a bit longer. They tend to find or look for a bigger feed rather than multiple small feeds. So you've got several options there in your plastics as well. But that's it for the freshwater trout and redfin box this month. If you want to check it out or any of the other boxes in the range, just head to www.tackleclub.com.au. Pick a box that's right for you, have a Merry Christmas, and welcome to the club.